Hey guys, this is Nathan and welcome back to TechNodeFirmaCraft. So we're getting into the middle of the year now and harvest is going to be coming and we are going to really be in need of somewhere to preserve some of our foods. So we have all of this alcohol here that has been made by Bloody in the previous year. And so we need to turn a bunch of this alcohol into vinegar. Now to do that, we need to add some fruit. Now it takes 10 ounces of fruit per bucket of alcohol. So we're going to need to be making a lot of 100-ounce fruit piles. So one good thing is we just had a cherry harvest. So we have tons of cherries here. So the most important thing when you're going to do this is quickly get rid of all of your decay before you do anything. Then you can take your knife, you can get an 80-ounce piece right off the bat. This will make a 40-ounce piece, and then we get the 20. So this is what we're looking for. We've got two 20s here. We're going to make another two 20s also. And we can start making these into 100-ounce piles now. So we'll get a couple more here. And see, that one already had decay on it. And we have to be really quick about this because otherwise we can't pile these up the way that we want to. So now we'll take our 20s and 80s and pile these together. Now once they're stacked into 100 ounces, decay does not matter. You can have an almost fully decayed pile of fruit and it will still make vinegar. So you have to be pretty quick because fruit does decay rather quickly. But so there we go. We've got 4 piles of cherries here. And we're just going to go ahead and add this to this first column of alcohol. So we'll unseal this. We'll dump in some cherries, seal it back up. And you can see we're going to output vinegar. So we're going to do this on all of these. And we'll get vinegar on all of them. Now if you put extra fruit into this alcohol, it will still make vinegar, but you will not get the extra fruit back. It will just basically waste it. So it is pretty important that you make sure that you've got your fruit divided up properly. Now we're probably going to want to make some more alcohol too. We have a lot of grain up in our big floating fruit store or food storage area up there. And that probably could use a little bit of work to make it look better too. And I don't know, we might want to move some of this vinegar up there. I don't know, we'll just have to see how things go on that. But yeah, I am going to get the rest of these cherries put into these barrels to turn it into vinegar. I'm probably going to take a little bit of the fruit from up here to turn the rest of this into vinegar. Because we're going to be getting tons of new fruit in the trees, and so it's not all that big of a deal to turn it into vinegar now. So I'm going to get that done, and I'll be back in a little bit. So I just got to thinking, I don't think I've ever shown how to actually make alcohol. So we have turned all of this alcohol that we had here into vinegar, but we need to make more alcohol. So the first thing you need is a barrel of fresh water. So this barrel of fresh water, it's got 10 buckets in it. Well, to make alcohol, it takes 4 ounces of grain flour per bucket of fresh water. So we need 40 ounces in each one of these. So what we'll do is we'll just do this, and this will output beer because I think we had barley in that one. Now, we also have some wheat here, which is going to make whiskey. And like corn will make corn whiskey, potatoes makes vodka, rice flour makes sake. There's a few of them, I can't remember them all, but every grain, I believe, will make alcohol, and then you can also make rum with sugar. So there are a few options available for making alcohol. But so I'm just going to go ahead and get this going. Do have quite a bit more grain up there, but we don't have a lot more of the barrel. Okay, I can't pick that up. Why? I don't know. But so we have, it looks like 5 more barrels of fresh water here. Oh, 6. We probably should move that one out of there. And where did it go? There it is. So yeah, we've got 6 barrels of fresh water still waiting to be changed into alcohol. So I'm going to let that do its thing. I'm probably going to check on the garden some more. I think I need to cut down those Douglas fir there. And also, Bloody brought back some maple saplings from a long excursion that he was on. So I've got those planted over here. I really like the look of the maple wood. So I'm going to be working really heavily on getting a lot of saplings on that. But I guess, yeah, I'm going to go through the orchard here, which you can see on the mini-map is quite large. Go through here, see if there's any new cherries or anything like that. And yeah, I'll be back in a little bit. Just an interesting little side note here. So I planted these Douglas fir 2 blocks apart in every direction. Now what this will allow is when I cut the first one down, it'll cut all of the grown trees at once. But what I've been doing is harvesting out the leaves, and as I harvest the leaves out, more trees grow. So you can see this tree here just grew, so I can climb up this ladder, use my shears, and I can just, whoa, almost walk off the edge of the top of a tree. But I can just sit here and just, you know, break leaves all over the place. It's kind of hard to see since it's nighttime right now. But I can just break a whole bunch of leaves here. Then I can just go back down to the ground, grab all of the sticks and saplings that are down here. Now, I've been doing this for a little while, and I have more than a stack of saplings already. So, I mean, this is very effective. And so, yeah, just a little side note, good way to get wood with the Douglas fir. And it's raining logs. And immediately trees grow back. Well, guys, I know Bloody likes doing all of this stuff manually, but I am more in here for the automation type stuff. So I am making up here just a little bit of stuff. Need to cool this guy back down. And yeah, that did use some water to cool that sheet down. So that's very definitely going on. So the thing that I want to build here right away, it will eliminate the need to do all of that stuff that I just did, is the rolling machine from Railcraft. So this thing is capable of producing the majority of our ingots, and well, it'll make like the weak or pig iron into steel or something. I don't remember all that it'll do, but it will make plates. It will make double plates. It'll do all kinds of stuff like that. So we want to make this thing. It takes 4 steel plates, 4 pistons, and a red or blue steel hammer, or regular steel by the looks of it. So first we need to make ourselves up 4 pistons. Should have everything here for that. Then we need our 4 steel plates in the corners, our 4 pistons elsewhere, and then we'll need our red steel hammer in the middle, and there we go, rolling machine. So now the other thing that we're going to need with this rolling machine is a few more connectors and more power cables. So that's not where I wanted that. So we're going to place this thing down right here. We're going to go ahead and place some power connection on top of it. And here in a little bit, we are going to need to get some power reserve from that generator, because like right now, well, the rolling machine is taking in some power right now. But if I'm not using it, we're just wasting our power. So we could get some reserve going on here, and then we could use these machines a little more. But so the rolling machine, we can now use this to make a few things. Like, for instance, we need to make some wrought iron sheets. Let's just say that we need to do that. So we can take, think it's... Well, I gotta think about this for a second. First, we need some flux. So we'll grab some flux. And if we take 2 wrought iron ingots, and one nice thing about the rolling machine is it will automatically level out the load. And then but we put in the 2 wrought iron ingots and flux, and that will make wrought iron double ingots. Now you can see it's taking quite a bit of power to do this, but that's okay because this thing will recharge fairly quickly. But now we can take this wrought iron double ingot, put it back in, and it will make a wrought iron sheet. So that's pretty nice. Now also, if we take, wrong one, if we take some of these wrought iron sheets and put those into the rolling machine, just like we did with the ingots with some flux, we can then make the double sheets. So we can do that with any of our completed ingots. Of course, it doesn't work with the weak, but I just want to see here. The uses on the weak, I think we can run this through the... No. I was thinking we could run that through the rolling machine, but I guess not. But so now we have this rolling machine that will make it a lot easier to get a lot of this stuff done. Don't have to worry about sitting there messing around with the anvil when I need to make some sheets or double sheets or anything like that. So that makes life a lot easier. So the next thing that I want to make is another steel furnace. So this steel furnace, yeah, it does take quite a bit of steel. But let's just look up furnace real quick. So we have our steel furnace here, and we need 6 steel sheets for that and a crucible. So to make 6 steel sheets, we're going to need 12 steel ingots. So we'll go ahead and take these 20, throw them back in there. And now this is why I wanted to make this thing, so we can make our double ingots first. And once we get our double ingots made, then we can run those back through and make our steel ingots. And yeah, that's pretty nice. We don't have to worry about that anymore. So I'm going to make those up, and I'll get that steel furnace built. And then I'll be back to show you why I wanted to make that steel furnace. So Bloody and I just got back from a very long session of mining, and we brought back a good amount of diamonds. So this is what I have gotten so far. I don't know what Bloody did with his, but we have 3 diamonds, 3 flawless diamonds, 2 exquisite diamonds, and if we come down here, we have a whole bunch of the chipped, and then 13 flawed diamonds. That is really good. We're doing really good on diamonds. Shouldn't have too much trouble there. We also got a whole bunch more of the limonite piles, so iron is definitely not an issue at the moment. But we still are having issues with power. Now I've set up 2 more of these windmills up here. You can kind of see the wires running between them up there. But even at that, we're not keeping up with our power demands. But right now, none of the machines are running, and you can see we have, a good amount of power stored, but once we start using them, we run out right away. So yeah, we need some power storage so that these guys can charge up a storage medium of some sort, and then we can use that power to power the machines. So I have set up here some production tables from Steve's workshop. I've used these many times in the past. I really like them. If we put in, we can look at the upgrades here. We have a crafting table and an extra storage upgrade. That's what gives us this storage slot down on the bottom. But you can see here we have a recipe for black bronze dust. This can be put together to make the weak black steel dust, and that just takes steel dust, black bronze, and nickel. Now, nickel is one thing that we are lacking a lot of, and so yeah, this is about all the nickel we have right now. But so this works really good. Now this weak black steel dust we can run through our blast furnace over here, and it will give us weak steel ingots, and we can use that to make our normal black steel here. But eventually we will be able to use this high carbon black steel dust, which takes the weak steel and pig iron dust, And this stuff we then have to run through the purification chamber, and it gives us this amalgam. And the amalgam we can run through the Immersive Engineering blast furnace to give us the black steel ingots, or we can run it through the arc furnace from Immersive Engineering when we finally get that. But so this will be something we'll be looking at here really soon. This blast furnace takes quite a bit to build, if I remember correctly, but it also has preheaters, which will speed it up, but that takes power as well. So we definitely need some power storage. Well, we're going to do that with Mechanism, and we have these energy tablets. These take copper, gold, zinc, redstone, and enriched alloy, and that'll give us the energy tablet. Now, the energy tablets we put with steel casing, some redstone, and wrought iron, and that will give us a basic energy cube. Now, this thing holds 800,000 RF, and yeah, that is pretty good by itself, but if we take this and put it in the middle of this recipe, so we have steel, enriched alloy, and some more energy tablets, this will give us the advanced energy cube. This thing holds 3.2 million RF. So we should be able to get quite a bit of RF out of this. Now we're also going to take our configurator because this is kind of going to be needed for this. So if we look at this thing, we have our side configuration. The energy output, I guess, looks like we're going to be outputting on this side. So we probably can't put this right here. So let's go ahead and move that. Let's set it right there. And any side except for our output side will be an input side. So we need some power cables. Those are over here. So let's get this set up real quick. So what we're going to do, we're going to take and place our wire connectors on here. We are going to break this power connector. That will give us a whole bunch of our wires back. And then what we're going to do is we're going to run this wire from up here down to the energy cube, and we can see now this thing is charging. And it's going to take it a long time to charge, but that's fine. So then we'll place our power connector back here. We will connect from there to there, there to there, and here to there. And so that will provide power to all of our machines. Now, one thing that Bloody did was he changed our infusing machine and our enriching machine to factories. Now, these things have 3 slots instead of 1, but they also use quite a bit more power. And I think he put some upgrades in here too. Yeah, he's got energy upgrades and muffling upgrades. Now, these muffling upgrades are something new, and they make the noise of the machines reduced. And that is really nice considering that these machines are very loud. So we've got those in the 2 factories. I don't think that we have them here in the crusher. Yeah, actually he does. Okay. But so we will be storing tons of power now. And these guys should be able to keep up decently now with our energy demands because we're going to be storing it when we're not using power. So that is pretty awesome, and we can upgrade this energy cube later on. Another thing that we can do, we can take our configurator and charge it now. So I'm not sure what charging does with this, but I think we can pick up mechanism devices with this thing. Let's just try that real quick. So if we shift right click on this, no, that changes the color. We want it to none. Right clicking or left clicking does nothing. Okay, well, I'm not sure why you would need to charge this thing, and it did use some energy. I don't know. I may have to do a little bit of research with that. But, yeah, there's definitely some use for power in this thing. But another thing that we can do with this energy cube now is to charge free runners. Now, free runners are something that come from Mechanism. They're down here. These negate all fall damage. As long as you have energy in them, they negate fall damage. So those would come in really handy. I almost fell to my death while we were out mining, so getting those is going to be kind of important. Another thing that's going to be really important is getting these jetpacks. Now, the armored jetpack does not have a recipe. I kind of thought that was the case, but we do have the regular jetpack. The problem with this thing is we need hydrogen gas. So the next thing that we are going to have to get set up here is an electrolytic separator. And that's another reason why we needed to get this energy cube, because that electrolytic separator takes a huge amount of power to operate. So I think what I'm going to do at this point is I'm going to set up the recipe for that electrolytic separator, and probably the, I can't think of the name of it now. Let's find the clumps here. The purification chamber, that's going to be the other thing that we need, and this is going to give us ore tripling. So the electrolytic separator will produce hydrogen for jetpacks, and it will produce oxygen for this purification chamber. So I'm going to get all that stuff set up, and I'll be back in a little bit. Well, this just sucks. So I was looking through the recipes for the electrolytic separator and the purification chamber, and we have, for the electrolytic separator, the electrolytic core. Now this thing is easy enough to make. It's just enriched alloy, gold, osmium, and iron dusts. That is really easy for us to make. The problem is the rest of the electrolytic separator. Steel, no problem. Reinforced alloy, we already have some of that. That uses diamond with the regular enriched alloy. Redstone, the electrolytic core, and aluminum plates. Now there's only one way to get aluminum plates, and that is to run aluminum ingots through a metal press. That is literally the only way. Well, to get aluminum ingots, there's only one way to do that, and that is to either run our bauxite or aluminum grit through an arc furnace. So, like it or not, we are going to be getting into immersive engineering very heavily before we can do anything more with our ore tripling or anything like that. So I figured the first thing, and probably the best thing to do, would be to get our reinforced blast brick so that we can make our blast furnace from immersive engineering, and then also we can build these blast furnace preheaters, which do take power and will speed up the process of making the stuff in the blast furnace. Well, to make this reinforced blast brick, this takes the blast furnace core, which takes 6 of our blast furnace bricks, plus 3 black steel double sheets. That's not exactly cheap. And then also we need these blast furnace casings, which is blast furnace bricks plus fire bricks. So yeah, this thing's kind of expensive, but like it or not, we're going to have to get into this stuff. Now the arc furnace here in a little bit, that's going to take some of the heavy engineering blocks, light engineering blocks. I think it takes some scaffolding of some kind, like the steel scaffolding. I'd have to look at the immersive engineering book to see what all we need for that, and I figure, why not? We'll just look at that real quick. So, if we come in here, I think it's in heavy machinery, arc furnace. So this is what we need, and you'll notice, if we go up, blast furnace bricks. So, yeah, we've got some pretty ugly things that we have to do, and why can I not? There we go. So yeah, blast furnace bricks, light engineering blocks, heavy engineering blocks, scaffolding. Looks like we have some regular blocks. This thing is going to be as expensive as all get out to build. It was probably about, I don't know, 20 episodes in, 25 episodes in before I built this thing in the last playthrough. But you can see we need a cauldron, 14 steel slabs, 4 blocks of steel, 27 reinforced blast bricks, 14 light engineering blocks, 7 heavy engineering blocks, and 10 steel scaffolding. Well, I am going to be crafting for a while. We're going to be letting this energy cube charge up, which it's, about a quarter of the way charged right now. So, yep, lots of crafting, and I'll be back. Alright, so I've done a little bit of smithing here. So I have here now the 3 black steel double sheets, and these blast furnace bricks are the ones that I pulled down from our Railcraft blast furnace. And so you can see we have our blast furnace core and the 4 blast furnace casings that we need to make this recipe, and that's going to give us 27 reinforced blast bricks. So that's that part. Now the next thing is we want to make these external heaters right away. So actually I didn't double that recipe up. But so we need to make 4 sheet metal blocks, and then we need to make 4 fluid pipes. Then we have here the recipe for the external heater. So this takes a copper coil, and then we need some copper ingots, wrought iron, and redstone. Now this will make 1 of these, but so spread the warmth, okay? So then we have this, and this will make 1 of our preheaters. And basically we just need to grab 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 more of those. 1 of those, and we need to get over here and grab a little bit of, or 1 treated stick. So we'll take our treated stick, we'll make another set of the wires. We'll make, I didn't grab enough copper apparently. So let's grab 1 more copper ingot, then we'll need the iron ingot, surround that with copper. What? No. What am I doing? I don't know. Take the iron ingot and surround it with copper wire. That makes the coil. So now we need, 3 copper. 1, 2, 3. We need 4 iron. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 1 redstone. And we should be able to make our second preheater now. So we'll go ahead and set this up real quick. That's not right. What am I doing? I don't know. Something isn't right there. Well, it's close. There we go. External heater. And there's our second blast furnace preheater. So now we're ready to set this thing up. So let's go ahead and take a look at the book and see what it says for setting this up. So let's go back here, and we need the improved blast furnace. So the improved blast furnace is a much more professional way of creating steel. Not only does it allow the automation of in and outputs, it can also be outfitted with preheaters to speed up the refinement process by addition of hot air. The furnace is made from reinforced bricks, so you'll be advised to spend your first batches of steel on this. So this is the way that we build the improved blast furnace. It's just a 3x3 structure, and it's solid, and then we need a hopper on the top. Now, is that a... Yeah, that's a regular hopper, so that's no problem. And from there, we should be fine. These blast furnace, or these preheaters go on the side, so we need to grab a hopper, and we should have everything here. Now, for now, I'm going to set this up right here because we need to be close to our power reserves, which, by the way, we're at 2/3 of the way charged right now. So what we're going to do, we're going to, I think, face it this way, and we're going to go our 3x3 by 3. And then we place our hopper on top. And now we need the engineer's hammer, which I believe I already made. No, I didn't. Okay, so to make the engineer's hammer, we need some rope. And this rope is made with jute fiber. Well, here, let's just go through the recipes here. So it takes rope, 2 black steel ingots. That's what I was missing. So the rope is 5 jute fiber like this. Then we needed the black steel ingots and 2 treated sticks. Now, unfortunately, I have no black steel, I don't think. Oh, no, we do. We do. Awesome, 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 awesome. Okay, so we will quickly set this up, and I forgot the treated sticks. So let's grab those real quick. 2 treated sticks. And where did I set that? Right here. There we go. Engineer's hammer. Hammer. Okay, so now if we hit this thing, that will turn it into the improved blast furnace. So this by itself we can use now. We can throw our weak black steel dust in here, I believe. And let's go ahead and grab the charcoal that we have over here. And we can put this into it. I think we put the input right here. I think. No? Well, I'll figure out where all the inputs and outputs are later. So you can see this thing's not extremely fast. It's actually rather slow. But these ports here on the side, these are where our preheaters go. So if we take our preheaters, we set these right next to it, you can see they connect up to those ports. Now they're not doing anything right now because they require power. So what we're going to do, we're going to take our power connectors here. We're going to put one on each of those. And then we're going to hook up some wire here and get some power to these things. Now this one is already running. And you can see it's kind of sped things up a little. So we're going to hook up this one as well. Now both of them are running. We're burning the fuel a little faster, and we are making more steel. And apparently this is the output. But so we're also getting this slag from Immersive Engineering. We can use this to make concrete. That is the only use for it. Gravel, clay, and slag. But so, yeah, this is going to increase our production here. Now another thing that we can do with this, we have our steel dust that we've been making. And this stuff normally would get turned into pig iron in the other blast furnace. Well, in this one, if we drop in steel dust, it won't let me. I thought we could put steel dust in here, but apparently not. But I thought steel dust is supposed to be able to be turned straight into steel ingots, I thought. I guess that's in the arc furnace. Okay, never mind. But we can also take iron ingots and turn them directly into steel in that thing. So there's a lot of upgrades that have been made by making this improved blast furnace. And like I said, I'm going to have to figure out where the actual input is here for the charcoal. I think it's actually just one block above where I'm at right now. So let's just try that. We'll put it here and try throwing this on here. No. Oh, it's on the top. Duh. I'm an idiot. I do remember that now. So now I can't get up there. There we go. So we put this up here on the top, and yeah, now it will work. And we can also put ores in there, you know, or weak steel dust, or whatever we want to do. So this will greatly improve that, and the speed is improved now too because of the preheaters. But I do think that's all we've got time for today, so if you enjoyed the episode, don't forget to give a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. You have any thoughts about what I've been doing or anything you want to see me do, go ahead and leave that down in the comments, and I will see you next time. Bye!